How y'all living? How y'all living? Let me see. Let me see. There we go. Hopefully y'all can hear me.
Yes, sir.
Hey, hey,
What up, boy?
the man.
Yes, sir. What's up, man?
Not much, man. Enjoying the day. Happy 4th to you.
Yes, sir. You too, bro. Yes, you too. So,
Man, it's been a long time. I'm glad to see you still doing well. And yeah, man. Yeah. First, before we even get on with me, what's been going on with you? How you doing, brother?
bruh, I'm good, man. I'm gearing up to drop my joint on the 1st of August. So that's like first and foremost. So
I'm excited.
like I got a whole bunch other crap going on, but like first and foremost, like that's like like literally primary. Like I don't care what's going on as long as I get that joint dropped. Boom, I'm cool, bro. But other than that, man, I'm just living, my dude. How about you?
I'm good, man. Definitely keep me posted on that. You already know. You be
Oh
sending me
yeah,
the snippets and everything. I'm excited. I'm excited. But
yeah. I'm trying to like I don't only have like 10 tracks. I'm like one's like a interlude and the other one's like meditation tracks, but it's just like the rest, like that. And that's all I have. But at the same time, I'm okay with that
it's
because
real
this is
music
a
though.
project. First of all, huh?
It's real music. You talking about a lot of things that need to be talked about in the world. So I think
Yes,
it's
sir.
important.
Oh, yes, sir. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I feel like that's the beauty behind this specific project. But okay, enough of that. Enough of that. Let's get to the main reason why you're here,
Yeah,
man. Learn to love self, bro. First of all,
sure.
congratulations because I know how much work. First of all, you yourself have put into this project. One, two, how much work goes into putting in, getting everything finalized and everything just so that it can be done and pushed forward. So on top of those two things, man, congratulations, because I know it's probably been a long time coming, my dude.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I definitely appreciate it. And yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's been of course it's the album itself. I would say the content to gather everything probably took a span of over 2 years.
Mm,
Kind of moving from the last album to this one, but I
right.
definitely feel it's been a lifelong journey for sure. Just trying to kind of figure out who I am and where I want to go, what message I want to give to the world. And a part of that, even
Hmm.
kind of coming to that decision, you were there for that. You definitely were one of the first people to kind of take me in, influence me, and inspire me. So you
Yeah.
by all means were just as much as part of this project and kind of putting it together as I was. So yeah, man.
Yeah, I appreciate the fact that I've been able to be an influence, man.
For sure.
I for sure, man. So, all right, let's get into it. So check it out. So, why did you choose "Learn to Love Self" as a title for this album?
Yeah. So um, a big thing for me was kind of doing an artist dissection, right? Trying to figure out what I
Hmm.
can do better as an artist and what I'm missing. And one thing
Okay.
that I came to, I personally felt that my music was melodically there, the lyrics were there, everything needed to be there sonically, but
Hmm.
the part that I was missing, who is pure knowledge? When you listen to my music, what do you take away from it? So that's when I started thinking deep. Who am I? Where where do I see myself? Where was I? And just all this dissection. And at the end, it just came to me looking I'm a lovable person. I try to be a happy person. But if you peel
Right.
back a lot of those layers, it's a lot of sadness, it's a lot of darkness. And through that journey,
Hey,
through that journey, it's
and
just
and ultimately, and it's funny and it's interesting you mentioned that because, like, even outside of artistic, discovery, that's where you dive deep into who are you as a person, outside of the artistic persona, because and a lot of us, us artists, we tend to create this artistic persona to either hide ourselves from who we are,
mhm.
or just to run away from who we are, or
Exactly.
just or issues or whatever. So because
Yeah,
trust me,
100%.
I'm right there with you too, and you'll hear it in the Sensei tape. So trust me, you'll you'll hear it. But
For sure.
yeah.
It
So
was mainly just
so
my fault. The finalize, make sure I
no,
answer
you're
it.
right.
It mainly was just, I would say it's a reminder to myself. I don't want to say, I didn't specifically want to call the album I Learned to Love Self. It's specifically
Hmm.
Learn to Love Self. So currently, right now, I don't
Right.
feel that I'm at the end goal, as in I learned everything I need to know. But basically, I came
Of
with that
course.
title as a reminder, as a life reminder, a life goal that continue to learn to love self. But yeah.
Hmm. And you know what, for real, that's not a goal that ends, bro. Like, even if your career as an artist ends, that journey continues elsewhere. Even if you decide to, like, lend your expertise to other people, you continue to grow and figure out how you can be more of an influence, even though you're not behind the mic, or you're not in the booth, or you're not writing rhymes or anything like that. That's where the growth continues to grow and increase. So yeah,
100%.
that journey
100%.
never ends, dude.
Man, this is the stuff that they don't teach you in school. I wish they had not
Right.
necessarily a class, but more mentors to just let you know that, yo, if you come to a point in time where you just don't feel like you're okay and you don't necessarily like the person in the mirror, that's okay. But there's ways to
Right.
learn to get better, you know? So, yeah.
Mhm. Did you think about any other titles, or was this was just one in which, like, you saw it and you just, like, ran from it ever since?
I would say over the span, because I've had the idea. I'm a person, I knew I wanted to make an album, but I've always kind of just put it off until like this year. Then I was like, all right, I want to
Yep.
sit down and actually make a masterpiece. With the
Hmm.
title, over those span, like that period, I had a couple different ideas that I was playing with, but I'm a person,
Hmm.
I like life to bring me titles. For example,
Right.
give me a second. I don't
Yep.
know if you can see that, but right over there, that says some graffiti that says zigzag. So me, how
Hmm.
I am, I would see life as that's very interesting. I don't know. I would make a
Right.
song, talk about anything that comes to my mind, and me, I would just call the song zigzag because somehow or another, I was meant to be right in this point to see that, and that has some kind of meaning. It may be very simple, but to
You
answer your
know what,
question,
man?
that's kind of how I got
Yeah.
that title.
Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up.
That
Because
life
you know
kind of
what,
brought me.
for real, and I'm, like, listening and going through the album a little bit more. Um, I easily could see this album being called Unpicked.
Mm,
I
okay.
easily, I really could, though, because
Actually, you
it's
bring
just
up a good
like,
point. You bring
oh,
up a
wait,
good
wait.
point.
So I mean, so when we get to that song, we'll get there. But let's go ahead and get into some of the songs. So, okay, Letter to Riley. Who's Riley, and why is this? Why did you choose to, like? Why did you choose the ambience for that song? Because it sounds like you were in a campfire when you did it.
Yeah.
So and now, hold on. Now, I'm gonna let you know you're more than welcome to be as vulnerable as you like, but if you
100%.
feel like that's tipping on
I'm gonna
toes,
give it to
I
you real.
totally understand, my
I'm gonna
dude.
give it to you real, and I'm
I
glad.
bet.
I'm glad that we're doing this because I specifically not. I have not spoken on this. I've left it to where people can kind of connect the clues if they do the research, but
Right.
I haven't given it to them. So to answer your
Right.
question,
Okay.
letter to Riley. Riley is my daughter. I was going to have a daughter. Unfortunately, she did not make it, and
Mm,
she's always stuck with me. And that was just
mm,
a big piece. Wow, that was just a big thing for me, and that happened during the creation of this album. And while I'm
dude.
reflecting, and just going through a big depression and a serious darkness. I honestly just didn't like myself. I didn't like life, and I had a lot of just very, very, very bad periods. And the letter to Riley,
Yeah.
I was originally going to call it Reflections, because
Hmm.
it's kind of like me looking in the mirror, and my reflection, I don't want to say is the evil version of me, but it's the 100% no ego. It's what you get. And that's me
Right.
saying, I've been up way too long. I'm tired now. And the person I become, or the person I don't want to become, and I'm trying my hardest to run away from,
Hmm.
be careful, because the more that you try to run away from that, you end up becoming that.
That's what you become. Yep.
And that's me more so. People kind of, it's like a therapy session. It's me writing a letter to the person that I feel I won't be judged by, the person I can give my most love to is my daughter. I'm
Hmm.
writing a letter letting her know that my reflections on myself may not be the best, but for you, I aim to be better. And that's why I kind of
Right.
made that the first intro, because I'm writing a letter to her saying, let me introduce to you the real me, the full me, and the vulnerable me. And that's where the
Mm.
campfire is. It's a story.
Oh my gosh. Dude, first of all, when you first mentioned that, you know, that was written out of, a daughter in which could have been, like, immediate chills just went through my soul, and it just, like, my heart just broke for that second. So I mean, first of all, my condolences for that, because I know that has to be tough, dude.
Yeah.
But
Thank you, man.
at the same time, for you to be able to honor her and her possible presence in that moment, dude, that's it. It makes me now I want to listen to that song and truly have that mindset of what really happened. Because I mean, I remember when I was listening to it, I was just like, okay, well, I don't know who Riley is.
Yeah,
I'm a ride to it anyway.
exactly,
But yeah,
exactly. Now you, and that's
you
what I
know what I
love
mean.
about it, because
But
now you can have a deeper appreciation for it.
absolutely, absolutely, yep. So, all right, Incline. What was going through your head when you created this song?
Yes, sir.
And just an FYI, that's probably going to be like my main question for like a good
Okay.
majority of like all of these songs. But yeah, what was your headspace for the song?
Yeah, yeah. I would definitely say I worked at a bank at this period of time,
Hmm.
and it was doing customer service and just going day to day in, day to day out. At the time, I was still doing music, and I was aspiring for more, and I just felt like I knew this isn't where I needed to be, but at the same time, I needed to be here because it's
Yep.
important. But it made me think, when you have Superman, Batman, you have all these heroes, you have your celebrities, all these people who are bigger than life. At some point in
Hmm.
time, they weren't that. And to me, I'm a
Yep.
believer. I'm gonna get into it, and I'm glad you said the unpicked. I'm a person. I like the unpicked. I'm somebody who wasn't the most popular, the one who didn't have the best
Hmm.
grades. I'm not the tallest. I'm not the
Hmm.
person that's picked first. So in the superhero movies, everybody, the whole movie is around the superhero. But what about the guy
Hmm.
that's at the hot dog stand that they just destroyed? You know,
Hmm.
like that guy wakes
Hmm.
up every day,
Hmm.
doesn't want to work at a hot dog stand, but he's doing it because he has to. In my eyes,
Right.
that's the real hero. You know, like the fact that you get up every day, and to put it frank, deal with life's bullshit and still get up and not quit. Whether you're a
Yes,
hero,
sir.
you might be an asshole, but at least you're going to be the
Hmm.
biggest asshole you can be. Whether you're a good guy,
Hmm.
you know, you're just going to try to your best ability. So Incline was
Yeah.
more of a war anthem to just say, for the everyday person that doesn't feel like
Right.
they're everything, you are the actual hero or the
There you
villain.
go.
Hey,
It all depends on what you want to make of your life and what you want to bring forth into the world.
100%.
So and so I'll go ahead and reiterate what we were sort of kind of like talking about like right before we started this live. So when I first heard this song, or even still now as I hear this song, um, it has like for anybody who watches Marvel, like and I'm pretty sure there's others who can relate. I love it when they insert other songs
Yeah.
into their intro, and it helps define the ambiance of the movie, or even more so for like what they did with Moon Knight and what they're doing with Miss Marvel, how like they're infusing different songs from that culture into the intro. And it's just like I love, being able to hear that and allow, that intro to like set the tone for either the movie or the episode.
Like anime and
So
hip
like I
hop,
said, when
man.
I hear the
Anime and hip
so
hop,
like when I hear
100%.
so when I hear this, man, like I definitely hear that above like or over like a Marvel intro, man. And I feel like that's probably the favorite thing about this song specifically. Is just like when you hear it, it's just like, oh shit, we it's about to get down.
It's
Let's
like
get
a
it.
honestly,
And,
that's the perfect feel because
yeah.
it's like a coliseum feel when
Mhm.
it's like you're charging up. Like you really just killed
Yep.
Varian.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
like
Yep. Yes, sir. And me, I'm a sucker for an intro track anyways, because like I feel like an intro track literally sets the tone for the rest of the album. If your intro track is somewhat garbage, then I don't know. But
exactly,
I mean, like,
exactly, exactly.
so yeah. So uh let's go ahead and get the TOYL. When was it? And I feel, and listening to the song, and actually, interestingly enough, I saw a post that you did on Instagram where it was just you looking at one of your shoes in which you colored, which is dope, by the way.
Thank you.
Um,
Yeah.
uh, but you had that song on the background.
Mhm.
So with that, I ask, when was it when you shifted your mind to enjoying life more than stressing over it, or are you, still trying to shift into that?
Um, I would say, okay, so TOYL, Time of Your Life, that was an older song in the sense of that was within a
Okay.
year, but that was before everything that happened. And the best
Okay.
way to put it, a lot, a lot that happens with me. The album was being created before I even knew I was going to create an album, if that makes sense. So that was
Hey.
a period of time where I was actually happy and enjoying life. Time of Your Life. First off, shout out to Rand Evans. He created Incline and Time of Your Life. Amazing producer.
Okay. And
Um,
you know what? Yeah, thank you for putting me on that, because now I need to figure out who made them beats. Because I swear to God, bro, like, oh my God.
he's a legend. He's a legend. But yeah,
Bet, bet.
Time of
That's
Your
what's
Life
up.
was. It's kind of like that. Letter to Riley was me saying, all right, let me paint you a picture. Let the movie begin. Incline is the
Hmm.
first scene where you're just kind of at your desk. All right, hi, I'm Pure Knowledge. Let me tell you who I am. Da da
Right.
da. Time of Your Life
Hmm.
is like a day like today. It's a beautiful day. It's a
Yep.
July 4th. I don't really have much to complain about. You just enjoy life. So just
Right.
painting a picture. At that time, I was in Virginia. Um, I was with somebody, but I'm painting a picture for a viewer. If you're not with somebody, you have a beautiful day, you come across somebody who you find to be attractive. How can you not have the time of your life? Like, come on, let's go to the park,
Hmm.
let's go ride some bikes, let's enjoy it. It's been a day. Let's go get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's
Hmm.
more so that. That's the introduction to the story of where I met somebody good and I'm open minded to where, okay, this is a new experience. This person that I see
Hmm.
is beautiful is like a beautiful day. So they come and invite me into their world. So how can you not
Nice.
accept the time of your life, And that's how that
There you
started.
go. Okay. Okay. I think that. I think that. Let's see. I think avoidance is the next one. Yep, sure is.
Yeah.
Avoidance. Oh my God.
That might be the best song I ever create. I don't know.
I I agree. I agree. I agree.
That's definitely a personal favorite. That's a personal favorite.
And and you know what, you can tell from the people's reactions in which you synced into the part right before Unpicked.
Yeah.
You know, you have all of your friends just like really excited for you. And I swear to God, I love it. I love how your friends like ride for you, bro. It's just like
Yeah.
especially one guy who's just like, nigga,
Yeah.
that's what the fuck I'm talking
Hey,
about.
shout out my boy Kitty, man. Yeah. Yeah, I got love. Yeah, man. And
Oh, but yo, that's like I love music like that. I love when you make that jam, you put it out, and people are just going nuts over it. It's just
that's what
like,
we make it for, man.
yo,
That's
son.
what we make it for. And my fault, I'm
Yep,
literally
yep.
baking in this sun right now. So if I start sweating, forgive me. But yeah, man,
And
that's
yo, hey, if you need to get out of the sun in some way, just let me know,
boy,
and you know,
yeah.
we'll
I'm
give you
glad
some time
you
to do
just
that,
said
bro.
that. We good. I'm about to. Hey, we gonna make it move on the fly. But look, oh yeah, that's exactly. You're absolutely right in the sense of why we make music. Of course, we want to have that thought of, okay, I'm about to make this song, and as soon as I make it, everybody's gonna absolutely love it. But
Hmm.
every artist at some point of time comes to learn you can't have that mindset. You just have to make music for the fact that you love
Yep,
music and hope that
yep,
somebody will be receptive to it as well. Um,
yep.
and when avoidance happened, man, to be honest, that's how crazy it was. I was about to quit music in the sense of
Mm,
not just, all right, this happened, I'm done. That was an event that literally changed my life. I had PTSD for the first time. My aspect on
mm,
trust and relationships and friendships was just open to a point where I had no inspiration to even want to make music. I didn't want to speak. It was a point where I just didn't want to talk. And real story,
mm,
my boy Nick, I've been friends with him literally since I can remember. And before I had any type of lyrics, any type of concept for avoidance, anything, I remember sitting down with him and letting him know, bro, I don't know what I'm about to do. I don't know what I'm about to say, but all I know, word for word, I'm going to make a masterpiece. And from
mm.
that point, I just sat down. And how I make my music, literally word for word, I sat down and I tried to figure out what was going on in life. And if you listen to the lyrics word by word,
Hmm.
brand new day, new episode. All right, I'm hopping out of bed. I'm wearing a
Top of
robe.
the bag.
You know, I'm
Mm-hmm.
literally going through my thoughts and down to the
Yeah.
second verse. I'm dissecting. Damn. What is it? Give the benefit. Why? Well, how you gonna trust somebody if you don't? You know, like I'm doing all of
Yeah,
that.
they give them a
And
chance.
right.
Yeah.
So all of that. At the end of it, I came out with avoidance, and thankfully, it was receptive to everyone that listened to it, and
Oh
I'm
my
glad.
God,
And
dude.
I just wanted to let my hurt out to a point where I wasn't even in the sense of like, yo, I'm hurt. I want everybody to see it. It was at the point where it's just like, I don't give a fuck. If you judge me, I'm going to be real and let
Mm-hmm.
you know, yo, I don't feel good. And you are just going to have to deal with that. And thankfully,
Yeah.
people
Hey.
people felt that way too.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Man. So it's interesting that you chose avoidance because, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like within this song, even as you were pouring out your feelings, I felt like, in a sense, you were also sort of kind of avoiding facing something deeper in your life. With that being said, has that been a main trauma response for you? And if so, what have you done to work on it? And if you haven't been working on it, that's okay too. But I'm just, this was a question that popped up to me, and as I was like, writing some of these down, and
No,
figured I asked.
yeah, you're absolutely right in the sense of, um, yeah, when to answer your point, it goes into the hook. I'm sure you're probably
Hmm.
great, but I have to push away based on the fact that you might be great, but based on everything that I've had prior, I'm kind of afraid, in the sense of I'm willing to miss out on the fact that you might be a great experience and you might be a good person for me simply
Right.
because if you're not that person, I can't risk ending up, going crazy.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
yeah, it's me definitely admitting that I do have some avoidance issues, avoidance personality, and that comes down to like childhood
Hmm.
and just me being trusting
Of
of
course,
people, and that's all it
of
comes
course.
to. But I think definitely the reason why um, I find this important because it's me saying 100% sure I have a lot that I need to work on, but I want somebody to take from it, look at me, understand that I am far from perfect. I'm not trying to say, oh, I'm the beacon of everything you need to be, but understand that it's okay to, be vulnerable. It's okay to,
Hmm.
understand that you might not be the most trusting or whatever the case is. My whole thing with this is it's okay to be avoidant. It's
Right.
okay to be unpicked.
Yep.
It's all that. That's what I'm
Yep.
saying.
Yep. Because we, in society, anytime we get to those points, we immediately feel like we feel like this is the end, but it's just only a period. It's just only a period to
So
where temporary, like, or even just that sometimes we might have to travel out either the reason why we're going in this
I'm trying
circle
to.
or that. You still there?
There we go. There we go. There we go. We good.
Okay. Cool, cool, cool. All right, cool, cool. But yeah, no, it's interesting. With this, I'm gonna try and regather what I was saying. It's I love that with this song, it dives into um being able to realize and recognize, you know, moments where we can actually face what we're going through, or just if we're just not ready to face those
Yeah.
moments at that point. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's okay to be in either state. So it's really just about, like, highlighting, using our awareness, and just learning to recognize when we're in both points. Honestly,
And
you know what I mean,
specifically,
and
definitely for
being
both
able to.
parties, but more specifically for a man, diving into like
Yep.
insecurities and understanding your feelings
Yep.
and emotions for sure.
Hmm. Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, unpicked. Unpicked. Another one of my favorites.
Yeah, yeah.
So what was your headspace? Actually, hold on. Let's go back. Let's go back to avoidance. Who made the beat for that?
John Stewart. John Stewart, amazing producer.
Hmm. Wow. So are these now I know you are with Stash House, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are all these producers through Stash House, or just people you found
No, no. So
all
I'm
around?
definitely I'm a big person and keeping it home base, putting on people that I rock with. So my producer Rand, he's from Richmond, Virginia. I met him in house.
All right.
Great dude. John Stewart was somebody I met on YouTube, kind of just looking for new music and looking for somebody who's similar to my sound. And I kind of reached out to him and we had a small little relationship, like a small connection, whatever, and just kind of kept it
Good.
cool. And I told him that I always wanted to work with him, put him on the album, and there we go. But a
Good
majority of
deal.
these songs are through Ram.
Through Rim.
Ram, my producer in Richmond.
Oh, nice,
Yes,
nice,
sir.
nice. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Got to
That
keep
is
it
what's up.
Richmond all the way.
Bro, way back, give it to.
Right, man. That home base. They don't even know, man. Hell yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, if no one understood that reference,
Right,
how
no,
I need to,
dude,
I
no,
feel like I need to, like, upload a bunch of my old
man.
songs, man. Like,
I'm saying,
something. I
I'm
need
saying.
only when I figure out how to get the rest, like this album on iTunes or whatever, Sensei Tape. I want to figure out how to get the rest of that on there, because
Yeah.
it's even though they weren't the greatest songs at the same time, like, there were sons that I enjoyed at the
Believe it or
time,
not,
and
I still have
I
it.
want to get that out,
I still have it. It's
huh?
I still have it on my page. It might be unlisted, but I literally keep everything from the old days. It might not. I'm pretty
Hmm.
sure it's still up. I gotta see. But if it's still there, I'll send it to you for sure. Cause yeah,
Oh,
that's a
I know.
classic.
Oh yeah, trust me, I got it. Trust me, I
Okay,
have it.
okay, okay.
I got it. It's just making sure that I post it for people who don't
Understand.
remember, that songs like this were made. Because yeah, Rocky Stories is still one of my favorite albums in which I created. But okay,
Hell, I still remember
let's
Nightwing.
not get out. Let's not get off topic.
You're right. You're right. I got you. I got you.
Um, Unpicked. Who made that beat?
That was Ran as well. Ran.
You know what? You literally just said all of those were, or more, a good
That
majority of
was
those
Ran.
is rent. So yeah, by all means, man, shout out to that dude. You put your foot into this album, and I wish you much more success, my dude, because you definitely fueled a lot of success into this album.
Definitely. Big shout out to
So with
Ran.
that being said, for real, that being said, Unpicked, Headspace. What was your headspace in that, man?
Yeah. So if you listen to the song, for the people who haven't, I went through a period where I got cheated on. And
Okay.
it was a very dark period because literally right before the loss of Riley, that's when that happened, like the same week. And during that period, it was a lot of confusion. It was a lot of me just trying to have understanding and going through stages of grief. And I took the actual voicemail that was had. That's a real situation because all these voicemails are real things because I want to portray and paint a picture of the story. So to paint my headspace in that, literally after I found out, and I'm still angry, just like how I wrote Avoidance, where I write down my every thought. I was sitting down on the bed, completely silent, and I just started writing. Literally, angry thoughts, all my angry thoughts, pure raw emotion, kind of like journaling, but it's raw emotion. And at that point, I still have the scars. I was suicidal. I was still, and not suicidal based off the fact it's like, oh my gosh, I got cheated on. It was just a lot of stuff that, yeah. But anyway,
And it took you down a road of self-harm, I take it.
yeah, I'll definitely be the first to say that. And I don't condone that, and I don't think it's one of those things of, oh, I'm sad, I'm just gonna go ahead and do certain things for an outlet for people to look at me. For me, it was more so a point of I felt nothing but numbness, and I didn't want alcohol, I didn't want to smoke, I didn't want sex, I just wanted something. And that kind of goes in the next song, the Ink Therapy. Pain was the only thing that I was used to and the only thing that I can control. So at that point in time, that's just all I wanted to feel. If I was going to feel pain from everyone else, I want to feel pain that I can control. And man, I had conversations with my mom, real shit. You even hear in the song where it was sad. You know, when you're sitting at a table just trying to have dinner and you cross your arms, the next thing you know, your mom looks at your arms and see, how'd you get this cut? Now you have to explain because she doesn't know anything that's been going on. And those are real words. She's, baby, you're scaring me. I pray that you can sleep. I'm getting goosebumps. But I pray you can sleep, you eat, and your mind is okay. And those are real tears. And
I know.
It was just a lot of really just journaling. Me explaining my exact moments of thoughts. This person saying, she wants to be with me and I'm everything she wants, but at the same time telling me I'm everything that she'll never want. And it's just a whole, it was me trying to understand. Really, the Unpicked is bigger than a song. And that's why it was
my God, yes.
It was gonna be the album title, but the Unpicked is my team name. Like if you're a follower of my music, if you even support me, you are a member of the Unpicked. Being unpicked means you are the one that they don't want, the one that inside society you're not the most skinniest. I'm too dark, I'm too light, I'm too black but not white. You know what I'm saying? Like in some form of fashion, everybody is unpicked. To the point I took the E out. Unpicked is UNPICKD, no E. Specifically because if it's supposed to be spelled with the E, I'm taking the E out. That's how we doing it. We going against the grain 100% to the point where it's a mindset where if I'm not what you want me to be, then I'm going to be what I want to be and accept it for myself. And with that mindset, if I want to rule the fucking world, why do I care what you think? I'm unpicked and you're going to have to pick me regardless.
There you go. There you go. So with that being said, man, what advice can you give to others who feel unpicked, or more so like basically your team? Like, what would you say is like your biggest bit of advice?
You're one of the lucky ones. I'd rather be somebody who's been through pain and torment and through darkness to understand the real world that we live in. Because when you look at life
Hmm.
through happiness in these rose-colored goggles, when you really go through pain and darkness, you won't understand how to come back through turmoil. But you can understand happiness by having pain. So, for those who feel unpicked, you feel that you're not on the right track, you may look for some form of understanding. You're exactly where you need to be. Because if you are
Yep.
lost, then you understand that there is something to be found. I'd rather
Hmm.
100% be myself and find myself than be a carbon copy of what's around me. And that's exactly what's
Yep.
going on. We're all just in a matrix. I call them NPCs, non-playable characters, to where you ask them, hey, how you feeling? They can't even tell you. So I'd
Right.
rather be my own person. And with being unpicked, we're the ones that actually make a difference.
Yep. Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. So let's get into Melanin Medusa.
Yeah.
First of all, I love that title for that song.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because it almost speaks for itself. Because I mean, if people understand their Greek mythology and they know who Medusa is and what she can do, and you add the term melanin to it, bro, come on,
Hey,
man,
man.
come on,
She
bro.
a baddie, but be careful. She might tell you I just stop. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh my god, man! But I'll let you keep going into your.
Yeah, yeah. Really, that was more so. How did I? Melanin Medusa is, in a way, it's kind of coming out of that heartbreak or whatever, and going into that
Yep.
fuck boy, the city boy. Fuck it. I'm up
Yep.
now. It's Friday night. We lit. Fuck it. I ain't even thinking about it.
Hmm.
And that's kind of the mindset of I wish I would have known you're an angel. That's me saying like you're heavenly, your body's amazing, everything about you from the
Hmm.
outside looks amazing. I just wish I would have known that if I actually look into your eyes, if I look to really see who you are, turn me to
Did
stone.
you see? Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, exactly. So that's one of my personal favorite songs on the album as well. And that kind of just goes
Okay.
through more raw emotion, just kind of after it's a thought process of after everything, trying to figure out, somewhat lying to myself, saying, fuck it, all right, I'm
Right.
good. She wouldn't really love me anyway, da da da. And yeah,
Right.
it's going through that. Kayla's interlude is it's a reflection. And
Okay.
in this album, it's a total of three girls. It's not about one girl, it's a total of three girls, but it's
Right.
telling you the story of these three girls, of these three loves that I've all gained lessons from. And
Okay.
Kayla was an early lesson where, in the sense of, okay, feeling good, got to get my swag back, I got to get my juice back, got to get me back together, and got to get dressed, got to get the drip, mix and match or whatever. That's where I'm
Mm-hmm.
feeling myself. By the end of it, she sends a voicemail like, yo, so you really not gonna rock with me now? Da da da. Or you think you're cool? Whatever. So that's when that
Right.
to every guy, to every girl, it's like, oh, she missed me now. I'm up now. Okay, whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
at the end, I like to also include, I did it with Unpicked. I include the kind of negative side and the positive side of both characters because it's yin and yang to everything. So just on days where
Mm-hmm.
she was acting toxic, there's days where she was actually a really good person and really lovable. Same with on Picked as
Right.
well. So I definitely want to incorporate. I'm not trying to paint a picture as anybody's a bad person, and I'm not painting a picture where
Well, yeah.
I'm in the right or I'm Mr. Perfect. I'm showing balance.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely have love for everybody on this album. There was no hard feelings to anybody. Really, I take everything as a lesson. So yeah,
I dig it,
my
man.
note. That was
I dig it.
my note to her.
So while we're on Kayla's interlude, that you mentioned, I noticed that this is a great way to bring up healthy boundary setting. So, what would you say? what would you say is your would you so say if I said something like this, villainry versus healthy boundary setting, what would you give? I give your slight thoughts on that, because I feel like that's kind of what I got from that specific song. Because it's interesting how you notice, or it's interesting how you placed in the end the voicemail of her saying, "Hey, I'm lonely. Can you come over?"
Mhm.
Um, I miss you and stuff like that. And it depending on who the person is, sometimes that's just a hook,
Right.
a track,
Yeah, exactly.
just some way to just keep you coming back regardless of what they've done or whatever. So yeah, yeah, go ahead. I'll let you speak on that a
I'm
little bit.
glad. I'm glad. No pun intended, but it all comes to learning to love self. When you see that
Yeah.
somebody is kind of toying with you and manipulating you and dragging you back in, one moment they're toxic and then the next moment they're, oh, but I love you, and then they're right back to it. You
Hmm.
gotta kind of have to see through that and love yourself more than the person that you think that you love. Because somebody told you something. Do you love them or the idea of them? You know? So
Hmm.
and when you see it like that, to answer your question, I think what I would try to incorporate now, and again, I'm still learning, it's important to
Of
let the
course.
person know what you find not necessarily uncompromisable, but what you find to be uncomfortable and explain why so they can have understanding. It's important to communicate. But when you do that, look for resolution to fix the problem and also be open to communicate and be receptive to what they may have on their end. They may not agree with some of the things that you have. But I think it's
Mhm.
important. The part that I'm now learning, don't always change for the person because you love them and so they say so, because then you'll become a character that they want you to be. It's important to
Yep.
always love and remember who you are, because you don't want to
Yep.
change for the wrong reason, you know.
Yep.
So
And it's
it's definitely
interesting
a healthy
you
balance. It's
said.
definitely a healthy balance.
Yeah, yeah. So, it is interesting because you said that, because that is something in which I myself is learning, has learned definitely when I created my project. Um, and you know what? I feel like that's starting to become a major theme uh in music, and I love that. And I feel like this is a message that needs to be portrayed and pushed out a lot more. Because people need it, man.
100%.
People need to realize and know that they are important. They are dope the way they are. So they need to find either friends or mates, soulmates, however, that help them not necessarily feed their ego, but allow them to be in a space where they can grow and enjoy themselves and learn to love themselves. So yeah.
And we're taught not to. Because honestly, you're absolutely right, and I would wish, That's why, that's my overall goal with this music is your mission. My mission is exactly what you just said. I think it's a
Hmm.
message that needs to be promoted more because it teaches open mindedness, and when you learn to
Yep.
love self, you kind of stick with who you are, and that's something
Yep.
that they don't necessarily want. So I think it's something that needs to be promoted.
Hmm. Think we're gonna go to 731. Now I now let me see if I can pinpoint a little bit of what that was going about. So I feel like that's a song like that kind of like I feel like that could have easily been described as depression in a day. Because I know one of your lyrics was like, "Don't mind
Yeah,
me." Um, I'm just basically it's just it feels like from that it's just like, you know what, I'm not okay right now. Just let me be in my space. Um, but
yeah. Basically, if I could put it in a meme, it would be
yeah,
them. How you doing? Me, 731. Like that's just the answer. In the sense of when people ask how you doing, what's been going on, what's been your mindset, that's the honest answer
yeah,
I can give you. There's no sugarcoating. Don't mind me. It's been one of them days, but I've been going through hell. Like so
you
it's like
know.
that.
I love that. Why 731? Where's that come from?
Uh, Back to my random titles. With Zigzag, I looked at the
Hmm.
clock. It was 7:31.
Okay. Nice. I like it.
It
It's
was
as simple as that. I
7:31.
love it. 731, he was just like, you know what? I ain't really feeling that. I'm gonna put that bitch into a song.
Exactly, exactly.
I dig it. Uh, ink therapy. Now you've already described a little bit of what ink therapy is and the thought process into it. Is there anything that you feel like you missed, or you feel like you got a good majority of it,
Um,
as far as like what you were saying earlier?
yeah, just to kind of bring it all home, it was a period of I love tattoos, and the
Mhm.
pain didn't necessarily seem to bother me. It seemed like an outlet, a
Right.
sense of understanding where I can kind of get my right my wrongs out, right my emotions out,
Mhm.
and yeah, I think
Okay.
it was just putting my heart on my sleeve. No pun intended.
Nice. Nice. So, what is your favorite tattoo, or do you have one? Do you
Uh,
have a favorite?
yeah, it's definitely the picture of my mom.
You know what? And I that's
I gotta go two. I
I and
gotta
I
go
said
two. I got the picture of my mom and my tattoo. I don't know if y'all can see that, but that's the tattoo
that
for
was
Riley,
awesome.
my daughter.
Mm, tattoos that have meaning. I dig it. I
That's
dig
right.
it. Uh, Rock Bottom,
Yeah,
Headspace in that. And also, I think this was like the only one in which you had a feature on it, yeah?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, first off, shout out to Leon.
Lo-fi. Yeah,
Did he make, who made the beat on that one?
that was Rand. And to be honest with you, uh,
Mm,
this song has been done for a long time, and it was
really?
originally it was lo-fi song. I was featured on it, and what happened with that? It wasn't about to come out. He had it, and he was like, I'm just not even gonna put it out. He rocked with it, but it was one of those things where you create so much music that after a while you kind of just forget
Yeah.
about it. And I always remembered my verse on this song and kind of what we created with it. And I showed one of my
But,
homies, and for literally over a year, he would leave comments on my other posts. He's like, "Yeah, I like this song, but where's that other one that never came out?" So I told him like, "Yo, you show me so much love, you hold me down. I'm gonna do not to do you a favor, but I'm gonna show my
right,
appreciation for you. This is a song that you wanted on the album, so I'm gonna go ahead and I reached out to
but,
Lo-Fi, even though originally it was his song. Um, he let me have it, and it came on the album. So that's kind of how originally
but,
he featured, but I featured really.
but that's what's up, man. If you don't mind, explain the chorus in that song.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
if you remember it.
of course, yeah, yeah. And all credit to Lo-Fi. That was all his writing. But if I can
Yeah.
interpret what I took from that, life's
Uh-huh.
hard in a sense of you you want to go on to fight on, right? You want to continue on and go after this dream. It's kind of like incline in a sense
Hmm.
where you want to get it. Life's tough, but you also don't want to give up. You can't die a bitch, in the sense of, damn, I'm put down right
Hmm.
now. I'm not gonna get this. And if somebody tells you, yo, you're not gonna achieve what you're supposed to, you're not gonna get this. No, I'm not going out like that. It's hard right now, and I
Hmm.
really have nothing else to
Hmm.
give, but I can't go out like this. And
Yeah, there you
yeah,
go.
yeah, he was talking about on his verse, wanting the better things in life and not necessarily materials, but better
Right.
mindset, better
Better
relationships.
character for
Just
yourself.
exactly, just
Yeah.
wanting better.
Hmm.
And yeah, on my side, I was talking about kind of coming to terms with finding somebody and being able to break up with them and accept that it's okay, that it's
Yep.
time to say goodbye. I either stick with you and
Yes,
turn
sir.
into something I don't want to become, or hey, take my
Hmm.
chances and remain who I am and be unique. So I took that.
There
Yeah.
you go. There you go. Mom's voicemail. Now this is now of all the voicemails outside of the very last one, this is one of those ones which I listen to and I'm just like, ooh, man, in hearing your mother give you those words of wisdom, words of encouragement, words of love. It just reminds me and makes me feel how, my mother, loved me. And I'm pretty sure that literally went across the board when people heard this. Um, and I love that you put this and her raw words on this album. That being said, how would you say that Mother set the tone for, when men choose whoever they date?
It's a
This is an off the wall topic, but I feel like this is,
no,
it definitely helps.
100%. It definitely is. It's very important. It almost sets the foundation though who they date. A lot of people
Yep. Yep.
end up dating their mother. Really,
Hmm?
it's when you think about it, when you think about it, your mother is your first example of love, of what it should be,
Yep.
and the image of a woman. So when you're raised by your mother, whether you like her or not, you kind of have um, an
That
understanding
that
of what you want to look for or what you don't. And a lot of times,
mhm.
it comes down to habit.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
no,
yeah,
no,
man,
that's true.
definitely. Hey, but I
City
want to
lights.
definitely say before we even go on. I want to tell a quick story. My fault.
Yeah.
I shout out to my mom. I love my mom, and it's funny because
Yes.
you gave me an interview when I was like 14, 15 on your radio show, and
Yeah.
it was my very first interview. And when I tell you I
Was it
was
really?
red, I'm pretty sure. And when I tell you I had school the next day, I was a young kid. I'm over here trying to keep it professional. Like, yeah, I'm an artist. I'm gonna answer this question. Funny story. In the middle of the interview, you can hear it. My mom was like, Christian,
I
it's
remember.
time to go to. Okay. My mom was like,
I
Christian, it's
remember.
time to go to bed. You got school in the morning. And on the radio show, on the actual interview, I'm like, yo, hey, Marcus, thank you for having me, dog, but I got to go to bed. I got
I
school.
got.
And all you heard was, okay, our guest left because he has school. Shout out to my mom, man.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
It's like, what can you do? That's what
Yo,
you keep it real. We keeping it
yo,
real.
yo, PK's mom. If you're listening, I'm sorry for keeping up your son during that.
I was like, really? Really? I'm trying to start a
I,
career and they going to have, oh, you
I
got
I'll
bedtime?
admit I was working. Yeah, I'll admit I was working through like weird like time schedules when I was doing that show, and especially when I moved to Kansas. Um, I think I kept it. I don't know. I don't know why I like did it so late. I guess.
It's all good,
But
man. It's a funny memory.
it is what it
It's
is.
a funny story.
Oh my gosh, I remember that too. City Lights. I If there is a song in which I would deem like a club banger,
Yes,
it
sir.
would be this one.
Exactly.
It would
Exactly.
be this one. It's one of those joints where I can easily walk in the club and I hear this song. I'm like, hey, get a little sway on. You know what I mean? And I feel like with music, I love songs like that because it allows you to just relax and just go with the flow.
Yeah.
So with that being said, outside of it being that vibe, was there like a deeper meaning into writing that, or that's just kind of the vibe in which you was wanting to capture?
No, you're right on the money. I'm looking at this live like, damn, I need to shave. But you're right on the money. You're right on the money in the sense of I like to make a lot of soulful music, a lot of different type of music that you don't hear all the time.
Hmm.
And on the
Hmm.
contrary to that, you hear a lot of club bangers and radio music in real life. So
Hmm.
that's kind of that question of, okay, PK, you can make avoidance, you can make the lyrical all that, but you don't make any bangers, you don't make any radio, you don't make any club records.
Hmm.
So then push play. Yeah, you know that is me. What you mean? Like I could do this too. We could get the vibes going. We could turn up, have a good time,
Hmm.
and that's where I like to do it in the sense of I could give you what you want. I could give you that banger, but I still give you the lesson with it. Because when you come with a hook, you never take a loss if it's a lesson. So I like to always bring home the life lessons, the real important,
Of course.
the nitty gritty. But we definitely turn it
Yep.
up, city life.
Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, now Blue Dream. I will admit, Blue Dream was one of those ones in which I've listened to, and I'm just like, I feel like I need to ask him about that one because I'm
Okay.
listening to it. I'm just like, really, yeah. But so, yeah, explain Blue Dream. Where were you? Where was your head at when you made it, and what would you say is the meaning behind that one?
Don't chase love, chase the money. Chase your success, chase your grind. Basically, it was just there's there's more to worry about than trying to find love and just trying to find. I don't know.
Okay.
There's honestly even more to just trying to find understanding in things. Sometimes we dive deep in trying to find answers to things that sometimes you don't even need answers. Sometimes life is
Right.
just meant for you to not stress, just go out,
Yeah.
get your money, go out and do what you need to be doing, and the
Yep.
rest will kind of
Okay.
fall into place. So yeah, it's just a
Okay.
kind of grind anthem.
Okay. Yeah. And I liked how you mentioned how like sometimes things happen and you weren't meant to, understand them because if you go into trying to understand them, you're just going to rack your brain and just send yourself into stress. It's just sometimes you just got to accept the isness of whatever happened and just, just keep it pushing. Don't even try to go into, because I'm pretty sure, and for me, I like to sort of kind of put a pin in those things, even though I don't understand it now. I'll understand it later. And
Right.
I've definitely had a whole bunch of those moments to where they like things happened in my life and later on those things made sense. So
The best
I
way to
thank
put
you
it,
for that
I,
explanation.
if people if they haven't, I recommend watching Interstellar. I'm pretty sure it's Interstellar because there's a scene that he did that he just knocked over something, and at the time he's like, "Oh, that's nothing," but it ended up being a very important part later that he didn't understand
Mm,
until that moment. So
yeah.
you're absolutely right in the sense of things that you don't understand now and may be very subtle, like that zigzag drawing, may end up meaning
Hmm.
something very big later.
I see. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Learn to love self. Um, Another good song. This definitely, obviously, is the title song for the album. Did you write this song first, or this was a song that came after you established the title?
After. And I specifically chose this to be the. I know people are very funny when you do like the title track. That has to be very
Hmm.
good. Like if you name the name the song after the album, that has to be the song. And to me,
In
I
theory,
think
yeah.
yeah, I think this was the one where if you listen to the album, if there's one song you had to hear, I specifically think you definitely should listen to Learn to Love Self because it's me at I felt my most vulnerable, where I actually want to do better. And I'm even writing it from the perspective of the person who hurt me. And I'm writing it from my perspective of me hearing it and also me hurting them. Ultimately, it's just
Mm,
wanting to do better. And if you want to do better, how do you get to that? I think it was just me just coming to terms with I I don't know. I haven't always loved myself. I want to love myself
mhm.
in time. So I just gotta bet on myself. Gotta learn to love myself. Yeah.
Man, man, look, sometimes you get to a point where you're at a fork in the road, and it's just like, all right, look, do I choose to do this thing for this person or whatever, just to keep them in whatever state of happiness is, whether it's actually real or not?
Right.
Or do I go down this other part of the fork and do this for myself, knowing that it's going to, crack that person's heart? And,
That's what makes you
sometimes you're just
unpicked.
going to have to.
That's what makes you unpicked.
Hey, exactly, my dude. Because man, a road for the unpicked man is a lonely road, and I feel like that's why people avoid a lot of. See
I see what you did
what I did there?
there.
That's why people like they do things to avoid that path. Like ultimately, like this is a path meant for everybody. You know, we're all supposed to figure out the deeper core. What is it that connects us all? What is it that allows us to push ourselves? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like everybody needs that journey for themselves so that we can be our best selves. And the thing about that journey is it doesn't end.
And we're all
You know what
one,
I'm
bro.
saying? Even if
That's the
you,
thing about it.
it,
Everybody thinks that it's me versus the world, but in the end, once you
yep,
realize we're all one. So if we all
yep,
eventually go through the same similar things and we need each other, then at the end,
yep,
it's a team effort. We're one. So if we
yep.
are one, then we. I'm not getting it how I'm seeing it in my head, but basically, if I could do my part, if I can go ahead and admit to my wrongs, and that helps you, then eventually you can find the message that you need to get from that, and you can help somebody else, and
Hmm.
then it's a domino effect
Yep.
to where we all just
A
win at this
domino
point.
effect. Yes, sir.
We all win.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I poetry snaps, my
Thank
dude.
you, sir. Thank you.
Uh, and then I would say the last song. Of course, you got the message you left at the end, but
Yeah.
the song "I Don't Need You." Um, I I like where you went with that. Um, and some of the things you talk about, how like when I was at a certain point, you wasn't really fucking with me and you wasn't really, vibing with my style. And then now that I'm, up and now that I got my name on the billboard and shit like that, oh, now you want to show up and be my homie. I'm just like, eh. So with that being said, how do you navigate your energy around people, ever since you've been doing music, the people like who, fuck with you, who you can keep close like your day ones.
Specifically, that's why I rock with you, bro. Because at a certain point in time, I've always had the mindset if I keep doing what I'm supposed to be doing, everything will fall into place. The same people who I'm
Yes, sir.
asking to fuck with me now will fuck with me then, even if
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
it's different. So I have more of an appreciation for people like you because you were fucking with me at the very beginning, and that's kind of how I navigate it. In the sense of I already know how people gonna be coming, and I already know that a lot of times, like my mindset now, people aren't gonna be coming just to be my friend. I'm gonna be looking through the
Hmm.
lines to see what is it that they're looking for, but not to say
Right.
that there's no one who's genuine because there are genuine people.
Yeah.
I
Of
think
course.
I navigate it by remaining humble, having love for the craft and having love for others, and never getting too big of a head to where I feel like, oh, I'm pure knowledge on the shit. Because at the end of the day, I'm
Hmm.
Christian. I'm a dude. I wake up late sometimes, and I'm still a
Yeah.
human at the end of the day. I never want to get to a point where I want to get to a point where, yes, I'm a superstar and you can see and look at me to where you can aspire to be like me because I'm no different from the next man. I want you to be your best
Right.
self. So if you can look up to me in a way that I'm bigger than life, then sure. But realistically,
Yep.
I'm just a reflection of yourself.
Hmm. Yes, sir. I think that I am just a reflection of you. Dude, that needs to be a shirt.
I
We
like
need
that.
to make that a shirt
I
right here.
like
Like
that.
put it like make
See,
like
look,
have a picture of a mirror.
that's how song
I
titles
am
come,
just a
bro.
reflection of you.
That's how song
Huh?
titles come right there.
Oh man, man, man. So the very last thing is the unpicked children. What even though it's just like no longer than a 2 minute message. Were you talking to somebody before or after, or is that just something which like when did you create this? When was this, like before or after, or like after it's all said and done or whatever?
Yeah,
What would you say?
yeah.
Go ahead.
It was honestly, it would be like this. I might even put this on my next album. It was I was on Instagram Live and I was sneak
Right.
peeking the album, Learn to Love Self,
Mhm.
and literally the
Yep.
last couple minutes of my live before I got off, that's exactly what I said. I just recorded my live in the sense of I'm glad y'all came, and I left them with some important messages. Like you said, if you have any advice, what would you give?
Which.
That was kind of my message to them
Yep.
in the sense of now
Yep.
that the album is done, I am forever unpicked, but I am unpicked and I am unpicked and chosen.
And I'm
And
sure, and
that's
I'm
how
picked and
that's going.
chosen. Ooh, that's that's just that is a realization in which I want everybody to get to. Like, I understand that there are times where you don't feel like the person that you should be, but as long as you are continuing to choose yourself, regardless, you'll be fine.
As long as
You'll
you're
be
willing to
okay.
learn. The moment that you give up willing to
Except
learn in
that
life,
too.
you lose.
That too.
You
That
learn
too.
something new
And
every day.
even then that goes back to, the theme of unpicked and chosen, because, sometimes we have to unpick a lot of our bad habits, and we have to make the choice to go for bigger ones
Amen.
or better ones.
Amen.
So, Ed, I
I'm glad we had this talk, bro. This was definitely. I'm
I
so glad
same
we had
here,
this.
man. Same here, bro. And you know what? I really hope that this conversation inspires someone and, uplift someone. I really did, man. This is I we've been like discussing wanting to do this for a while, but
Yeah.
like something in my spirit was just like, let's get this shit done now, dude. Get this shit done.
I'm a
And
big
I'm glad
person.
that we were able to align the stars
I'm a big
to do
person
this.
in divine timing. I got a tat. I
Yes,
don't know if
sir.
y'all can see it, but all with purpose. Everything happens for a reason. And the fact that we're
Yes,
doing
sir.
this, whether it's 5 people see it, 5 million, I feel we're doing our part.
Yeah.
And it's just to add positivity and add value to the universe, and somebody to take it, run with it, and benefit from it. So at the end of the day, one, I want to thank you for even listening to the album and being as passionate about it as you are. I really
Oh
appreciate
my
that,
God.
and I love
Oh
the
my
fact you
God.
just share it. Thank you, man.
I'm grateful that you are just still going strong, my dude. And you see me whenever I message, like whenever you do, like you post like inspirational quotes. I'm just like, bro, you are inspiring me to keep going. Like my 34-year-old behind, you inspired me. But that just humbles me and allows me to understand that sometimes knowledge doesn't always come from the oldest. It comes from those that are the youngest. And it's timeless. Like wisdom is timeless. It can come from anybody. Like I wouldn't be
Yo, that's
surprised if
crazy.
I
I'm
like.
sorry, not even to cut you off. As soon as you said that, you said what? Knowledge doesn't always come from the oldest, so sometimes it comes from the youngest. Sometimes, and then a firework went off.
Yep.
That's the universe said that nigga spitting. I just had a firework. I said that nigga
I love
spitting.
it. But no, that's the realest thing, and that's one thing in which helps me stay young, but at the same time allows me to humble myself whenever someone of an elder generation, decides to speak to me. I wisdom can come from anywhere, man.
That's why
And
I'm
as
so
long as
grateful,
you,
man. You guys, you,
yes, sir.
BCMG, Lex, you guys took me in when I was like 15. And that's why I really want to focus on that. There was a lot of people who I just didn't ask for a handout. I just asked for help in the sense of, yo, I want to talk to
Right,
you. What was your mindset in this? What got you started? I just wanted to have a
right.
conversation. And a lot of people just didn't even
Yeah,
respond. You were one of the humble
yeah.
people and the real people that actually sit down and just talk to me. So that's what I really
Oh my
appreciate.
God.
So I always
Yes, sir.
had that mindset of when I get to this position, if somebody with 13 followers asks, yo, how do you do this? How did you get there? I'm going to at least sit down and have the respect to respond and talk to you, because everybody at the end of the
Hmm.
day is a human. And whether you're
Yep.
5 million or 5,000, really the difference is a number. You're still the same person. So it's all
Hmm.
respect. And I appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir. Oh, of course, man. Appreciate you, my dude. Appreciate you, my dude. Well, I believe that is
That's right.
the end of it. Anything else you want to toss on, or
Hey, shout out to
shout out before
BBWs.
we?
Shout out to BBWs.
Hey,
Shout out to the veterans. Shout out my mom. Shout out Rand. Shout out Swami.
yo,
I didn't say it. My fault. On wasn't I don't need you. It was Mom's voicemail. Swami the producer. Swami killed it. Shout out to everybody
okay.
who's on this album. And shout out to MOA, man. And just shout out to everybody watching. Thank you for being you. And wash it, brush your teeth, spread love. Have a great night.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
There you go. That's one
Oh,
thing.
and for those look, and for those who fuck with or know about a lot of the DCMG, shout out to Lex,
Of
shout out
course.
to TMR. TMR actually just dropped an
Shout out Sonic,
album
man.
this
Marine rapper.
weekend.
Yeah, man. Go check that out. Go
God,
check that out. We got a lot. And
ooh,
that's what I'm
buddy.
saying, bro. There's so many talented people, and a lot of people don't like admitting that. I'm completely against that. There's so much light and talent to shed that I don't. I'm the type of person, I don't want all the attention on me anyway. But if I could have a chance to broadcast somebody else simply doing what they
Mm-hmm,
love, definitely. So
mm-hmm.
shout out Sonic. My fault. I've known him since he was Sonic. Shout out the Marine rapper. Shout out Lex
Yeah,
Lyricist. Shout out the kid
yep,
Gowie. Shout out
yep.
everybody, man. Shout out Hossein.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out Stats House
Crazy,
too. Let me
crazy,
not
crazy.
forget.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure, man. Their marketing plan for you is just bananas, and I love what they're doing with you, man. I whatever they're doing, keep doing that.
For sure.
I love it, love it, love it.
Yeah, man.
Well, shoot, man. Shoot, just for everybody out there, enjoy y'all Fourth. Whether y'all celebrate it or not, or enjoy your day off. However you want to look at it.
Go
Enjoy your
outside.
day.
It's a beautiful day, man.
Yes, yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Do that.
But yeah, I'm always bad at hanging up phone calls and awkwardly leaving. I appreciate you, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and dip. I
Yes,
love y'all,
sir.
man.
Be easy, my guy.
All right, take care.
Y'all have a good one.
All right.